Hi, my name is Lee, and I'm here from Tiny Rebel Games to tell you about Doctor Who Legacy. I could tell you in several words, but instead I'm going to use many. And I'm here with the Adipose. Hi, Addy.
You're the worst human being alive.
Oh, I thought it was quite funny. Anyway, here's a picture of me and the game and stuff. Welcome to the Doctor Who Legacy live stream. It's Thursday and it's 8 p.m., which means I've got a beer. Lee, do you have a whiskey?
I do have a whiskey. I'm ready to go.
And we're ready to play mobile gaming. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Greetings to everyone in the chat. We are live, which means you are earning Addy Gold, 1 gold every 5 minutes, which you can use for giveaways and nickname colors and icons, and just generally feel rich in imaginary currency. That's what it's there for. How you doing, Lee? How's your life?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. I'm really busy with all with worky stuff.
Yeah,
good worky stuff. Fun, good worky stuff. Which is
fun busy.
Yeah, doing level layout. I guess we don't really have a term for it. When we design levels, there's a lot of steps to it. There's getting the story nailed down first, and then getting all the approvals, and then starting to move forward with level design and laying out the backgrounds and the characters, and coming up with high level designs on paper for what sort of fights we want in the game, and then the actual laying down of levels, which is really fun because it's nearly at the end. It's we've had all these ideas for months, and we've been getting approval on this stuff, and now we get to put it in the game and lay it out and have things on the screen to fight against. So now I spent the last 3 or 4 days laying everything out for the 26 new levels in terms of enemy abilities, and now I'm going through and playing it and tuning it and trying to work out where the best place is to balance this, which should be a bit of an interesting discussion today. Because I found...
Well, you've got people... Players are now kind of all over the place, aren't they? New players will be way back at Season 7 difficulty, and then some players will be up in Season 5 difficulty, and then, of course, some will be the new dual colour balancing. So, there's... People are all over the place. It must be quite tricky to kind of think where to pitch new content.
Yeah, well, this is sort of a very specific problem that we're adding this to the end of Season 5, and we didn't expect people to rush out and upgrade all their characters overnight. And it's created some weird discussions over the last week or two, where some people have gone out and leveled and now have 30, 40 characters dual color. Have gone out there and just gone for it, and then they're complaining that they don't drop.
I think the point is they haven't gone out. That's the issue. They've stayed home and done that.
But then there's other people who play much more casually, and they maybe have upgraded 1 or 2, and they're complaining that the fragments don't drop enough. And it's a really hard place to be where I could increase the fragment drop, but we have people showing they may not be doing much else but play the game, but it's it's only been a week and they've got dozens upgraded. This should be something you do slowly over a couple of months. So it's a weird place to start designing content, because as I lay out the first level for Brigadier 1, the question is, does that stay the same as the last level of Season 5 and we just keep it sort of flat? Because that's a little bit too easy for the people who have full dual color teams. But if we raise it up at all, it's a bit of a jump that people have to sort of grind through and not just organically level through.
Do you feel like, in terms of a mission statement, that you're balancing the game for the stereotypical casual mobile user, or are you gonna, now we're kind of, because you've got Season 7 of the introductions, are you going to balance the new stuff for the more advanced, I've been playing the game for quite a long time type player?
Actually, I'm going
somewhere in between.
No, I go for option C, which is a really interesting option. We've talked about this, and I know
where no one is happy.
Yeah, only me. I'm the only person allowed to be happy in this whole equation.
Okay, go on, score.
No, don't derail me from. Now I can't remember what I was going to say.
You said option C.
We've talked for a while about these levels being shorter and more complicated. And I know you're a fan of shorter levels you have to think through, and you may play the same level for 10 minutes, but instead of being over 5 waves, it's a more intense fight at the beginning, that if you die, you're right back into the middle of that, instead of trying to fight through these levels you can beat, these waves you can beat.
Well, I like the idea for lots of reasons, because first of all, like as a player, I tend to be the kind of person that likes short, sharp bursts, baby work, etc., etc. But also, like, if I just go into the team thing here, you've got all these lovely perks, and I unlocked another couple earlier today, actually. But you've got these lovely perks that that resist locks or resist stuns, or have strong against certain enemies or certain categories. And then, of course, you've got the characters which you've very wonderfully put into the game that are not so kind of generic characters, but are specific. So like Captain Jack's Cure Stun, for example. And I think that just short levels that make you think would give places for all of those perks and all of those characters to go, both from a kind of cool, I'm playing as Captain Jack perspective, but also from a strategy perspective, because it forces you to then go, right, that's the level, I got my ass kicked, so what team do I actually need to beat this level type thing?
So there's, up till now, we've really treated how hard levels are as one sort of value. It's the accumulation of how much they hit you for and the health they have and the abilities they have. But now, as we start designing this, we're sort of splitting the two and saying, we can make levels that are really punishing if you bring the wrong sort of team in, because the abilities mess with you so much that the difficulty isn't just in how much they're hitting you, but it comes with the tactics they use. So these levels can be balanced, and what I'm doing right now as I go through it, I've taken the enemy attack and defense and value, those sort of values from the last level of Season 5, which is Paradox, can't remember which one, Paradox of the Zygons maybe, and I'm keeping that pretty level through the whole next season, just to see what it's like to play through a flat damage. You know, you can sort of you'll always know what an enemy has in terms of health, roughly. It'll all be around the same value, and it'll always hit sort of the same, but where things really messes you is the timing of the attacks coming in, or the abilities they use on you, things like that. So it's not sort of balancing for one area or the other. It's sort of balancing for the low end, but even the high end guys are going to get really tripped up in this, because it doesn't matter if you just brute force your way through with these level 50 characters, these dual color, fully maxed out characters. If the team you have is completely inappropriate for the level you're walking into, you're not going to get anywhere. So it's really sort of option C, which is set it for something that everyone has and they've shown that they can beat, which is the level before, but then really amp up the thought you have to put into the levels in terms of fighting against certain things. And one thing I want to talk about today are the new tools that I have to mess with people in the next content pack, because we have new ally abilities, new enemy abilities coming in. I have new ways to code in attacks and things and timing. So
have you just invented customized difficulty? It's
not really,
because that sounds pretty cool.
It's really interesting, because when we started laying out these levels, everyone we Susan and I play a lot of World of Warcraft and big things, big raid fights where you walk in and it's an experience unlike anything else in the game, because it is more complex and takes a lot of thought and care, and it's really shorter compared to running through a whole dungeon just fighting one thing. Maybe not in terms of length of time, but in terms of sort of the number of creatures you're fighting. So each of these levels, I don't think there's a level in the expansion which has more than 4 waves in it, and I think that's actually quite long. Mm-hmm. They're normally 3, 2, or 1. And when they're longer than 1, it's really to teach you something's going to happen. So the fight you hit on wave 3 may be complex because it's the mixture of 2 different characters. But you fight each one individually first to understand their abilities and how they change, and then the third wave is trying to deal with these 2 things together. So it's more of a training exercise rather than waves existing for just the hell of waves existing. If that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the sound of it. It sounds cool. So to recap, though, this is the... Sorry, apologies if I've misunderstood. This is the new Brigadier content we're talking about here, or is this something different?
Yeah, this is the Brigadier content, which should be out. It's getting really close. Within 3 weeks, it should be out, I'm hoping. We have a few bits and pieces to finish off, but it won't be many of these between now and then. And we've been on the side of that, we're also building out a load of new Doctor Challenge levels we're going to have coming out from now till then, and all the stuff we can't talk about yet until press releases come out. There's a lot of stuff we have coming. There's a lot of content coming in the next few months for people playing Legacy.
I saw in the newsletter where there's a few more of your you have to play a certain character teams. Well, they're not expert levels. What did you call those ones?
The Doctor Challenge levels.
That's the one, yeah, I do something challenge.
So we launched 2 more last night, which are set at, I think it was set at the end of Season 7 and the beginning of Season 6. And I've just started laying out the 2 for next week, which are mid-Season 6. And I'm doing a cycle of all the Doctors first, and then go back and do like a challenge, the first Doctor challenge and number 2. But for now, we're just going through sequentially as they drop in the game.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice thing to add every week. It's just a fun thing to do, design on the side of the bigger patches of content, and we'll have some more expert levels coming out in the next week or 2. So it's just,
are they faster to design?
No, they're all about the same. To design it. The challenge ones actually are on a harder end, because we're trying to do something we've never done before, which is say there's a specific challenge in the level you need a sort of team for, but then we can mess with that by forcing you to take in people who may be completely appropriate or wholly inappropriate for what you're facing. So it's sort of another layer of design as we write these on paper and try to design,
And do those challenge levels use that kind of customizable difficulty you mentioned earlier, that it bases it on what level you are, or could people end up in a situation where like they have to use player X, but player X is not the right level, or how does it work?
The characters, as you play at the challenge level, it asks you at the very minimum you have to take in a specific doctor. So the first ones you play, you take in a specific doctor, and
is it Paul McGann?
Have you not played any of the challenge levels? They're in the game. There's 4 of them in the game.
Of course I've played them. I'm just waiting for you to kind of be like, yeah.
The Paul McGann they've launched this week, and look, there's no preferential treatment here. These are being launched in the order that they drop in the game. So as you get one, a new challenge level unlocks, and they only drop in that order in the game because that's the order we were given permission to put them in the game. So all of this is completely out of my hands. There's no Paul McGann preference going on here.
Uh-oh, I've got a health issue, Lee.
I remember my feed is 40 seconds behind yours. You're looking quite healthy against these Daleks right now.
Yeah, it's gone wrong. I'm trying to get myself it's a 3 times combo, 4 times combo. Come on, health, please. Woo, there we go, that's better.
So some of the fun new tools I have to create this new content, and
yes, you said you can do.
It's not just creating more story and adding new characters; it's also changing the gameplay, in some way, whenever we can, really. So now I have the ability to put enemy abilities in based on the health they have at the time. So they could, for the first half of the fight, up until they hit 50% health, they could have one set of abilities. And they do, certain things there, and then they change after 50%, for example.
Oh, cool. So it's like good old kind of like, good old Zelda enemies where you bash them 3 times and all of a sudden they go, Rah! And go to like stage 2 or something.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's much more, stage fights. I put one in yesterday, which was, I come in with some character spawns a paradox, and then every 25% of the paradox's life, it spawns a different enemy you have to go up against. And then those enemies have different abilities. So, it's more of a raidy fight where you're trying to deal with a lot of things at once. But those things change.
You did that. You faked that slightly once before, didn't you? With the Sontaran fight, you fighted a commander with his helmet on, and then he bashed him about a bit, and then he took his helmet off and went, "I fight you bareheaded."
Yeah,
am I remembering that right? You did it a cheeky way, but now you can do it properly. Is that right?
We can't change the look of the characters, but we can change with the abilities. So
yes.
Halfway through the fight, we could have the same thing, and then the fight changes up to a different strategy being needed.
Cool.
So that's fun. That's fun to mess with. It's nice just to go. It adds character in really neat ways. There's this I've always liked using the ability names to try to get some personality or context across. So you might come across a Dalek who's malfunctioning, and all he does is mess with the board and doesn't actually hit you because he's malfunctioning. But now when he gets low on health, cool. we have that in already. But when he gets low on health now, he could explode. We could just fire off a time bomb for a massive amount. Or he starts healing himself or something when he's really, really low. Something you have some time constraint working against you. You have to go and deal with something very quickly. So it's nice to mess with the characters a little bit through just the timing of their abilities. So you'll see.
That sounds good.
You'll see a lot more of that in season 5 epilogue.
And brings yet more variety to the kind of fights. I mean, it sounds like you started, obviously I know it's true from talking to you guys, you started with a very basic, we're going to make a match 3 gems idea, and just brought in a whole new level of strategy up until the point of the game's release, and then since the game's released have gone even further with the level of strategy in terms of perks and new character abilities and new enemy abilities, and where do we stop? Where's the point where you go, it's done? It's probably got enough things in it now.
But it'll never be done in terms of content. We're only stopping when the money runs out. We're going to make this game. We're going to keep adding characters as long as we can because we're having so much fun doing it. We'll sit here all day.
This is the live stream from the Under the Bridge Homeless Center with Lee and Susan.
Trying to launch the latest content off our cell phone and living under a bridge.
I bet Susan could do it.
I bet she could. She could do stuff like that.
She'd network with all the other bridges.
Yeah, but one thing is just adding content. The other thing is adding new gameplay things, because you want to keep it simple in a way, but you want to add lots of complexity. So slowly adding new enemy and ally abilities is something that unlocks over time. So as you play through the game, if you're a new user, you're not sort of burdened with all this knowledge you have to have right at the beginning of the game, because it just unfolds as you get through. You don't have that enemy who has that new ability until you're 15 hours in, or that ally with some complex skill is 20 hours in, whatever it is, or dual color doesn't lock for 30 hours. So you can sort of layer in the difficulty slowly, because we do have a very casual crowd, and that's said in the most loving way possible. I love the fact that we get emails every week from people who say they've never played a game before, or this is the first mobile game they spent a penny on. Because they're the most casual of gamers, and they love this game. And yeah, we built it for hardcore gamers as well, because Susan and I love the strategy at the end of this, and adding more strategy to the end game as it evolves.
Sounds pretty damn awesome. I'm just glad you're still having so much fun with it as well. So how come you started off today by saying you've been busy? So why is now busier than usual, or is it because you're leading up to a new content release? Yeah,
we want to to get this out in a few weeks. We need to finish it earlier and get some testing done and get it ready to go. Which means for you guys to play this in 3 weeks, we need to finish it sort of soon. And the wait for Apple, always adds 5 days, 7 days.
Yeah, a week.
Yeah, a week. Yeah, so we're just sort of crunching on the stuff, and and trying to fix. Facebook goes live tonight. We have a lot of stuff on the table at the same time. Facebook is, I think, 9 p.m. tonight, Pacific time.
That's what the blurb said. Yeah, so
yeah,
I think there's quite a lot of people here that have been looking forward to that.
So that, we're trying to finish that off, and the final bug fixes for that, and getting it through approval. So there's a lot of and plus all the stuff coming that we can't talk about. In the next couple of months, all that has to be done as well. So it's.
Well, they're the best announcements of them all. I think we should have a period of 10 seconds where you just don't tell us about the things that you can't talk about. You ready? Go.
Oh, I wish I could talk to you about it. It will as soon as any of this stuff I can talk about. We can't wait. It's really interesting stuff. But anyway, so that's why we're sort of crunching, because we have other stuff coming down the line. We know we have to build, and we have this force of stuff which is still trying to finish off. So it's just busy. It's busy, but in a good way.
Luckily, I'm not held by the same non-disclosure disagreements, whatever they are, things. So, guys, those of you that have been waiting for Picard in Doctor Who Legacy, he's on his way. It's okay.
Oh, don't do that. They'll take you seriously. That'll be tweeted everywhere.
Please tweet that. Please.
So anyway, new enemy and ally abilities. Wait, you're going to shout at me for talking too long, or can I keep rambling? Because it feels like half a glass of whiskey's gone.
I've just finished a level, so this is a good point for me to show some artwork. So can I show the? Oh no, we had a code department, didn't we? The 5th Doctor code. Shall we do something like that here and now?
You should put the 5th Doctor code up. Yeah, that went out to the newsletter. Sorry, followers. If you don't follow the newsletter, it really is not. It's probably like the opposite of the spammy newsletter. It's just made every Thursday by Susan, and we just talk about whatever's happened this week and give stuff away. So if you have any interest in the game, you probably want to get the newsletter. It's a nice little thing to get in your inbox every Thursday morning.
And if you remember, last week, guys, we had the 5th Doctor, the Peter Davison Doctor. I'll get it right this time. And Tiny Rebel Games did a special kind of preview giveaway for a few select people on Facebook and a few select people on here and a few select people on Twitter, I think it was. But their preview time is now over, because you can all get yourself a copy of the Peter Davison Doctor, and here is your code, completely free as always. But of course, if you are enjoying the game, then do please consider purchasing some time crystals or get yourself into the fan area, because this will give you Mr. Davidson, and he's a unique character in that he has an ability that lengthens the amount of time that you can take your turn. That's his secondary ability, and I think his primary ability is a color changing one, isn't it? If I remember correctly,
he has a new ability that I don't think anyone else has it right now. It drops in certain color gems when you finish.
Yes. Yes, actually, no. There's one other character that has it. I think I discovered earlier. One of the Daleks has it as their 5th.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. You're right. We did.
Oswald.
And this came from the Twitch chat. Do you remember the other week? I think it was we were at your house. We were talking about Clara Oswald not having a kick-ass ability, and because it keeps changing. Yes. And somebody said, "Well, as a reward for it changing every upgrade, maybe you should give something great at the end that doesn't change." And we thought, that being so sort of new and unique, and only being used with the Doctor, it would be really cool if she had that as well. So she spawns a bunch of gems on the board at her highest rank. She's really good, actually, as a character.
And we're going to be talking about that in a second, actually, because there was a guy over on Facebook. Let me just get his name. It was Alex. I know you guys have you may well have seen it, that managed to do an absolutely disgusting damage combo using her and others. Alex Hebert did an awesome combo using some characters, and that's going to be my team of the week coming up a little bit later. So it's definitely a cool ability which we can use. But yes, you're right. The Fifth Doctor's first ability is to drop additional green gems in at the end, which kind of boosts up your combo. So there you go. That's your code. I'm going to bring you back to my beautiful face here, and I will post the code into the stream, I think, just so you guys have all got it there. You sent me some artwork as well. Shall we?
We have some work in progress art. So as we wrap up the levels, we're also finishing off the last bits of art for the characters who dropped in there. So here's a couple of new ones that are work in progress we want to show off.
Hang on, give me a second to just get those back up on the screen. So I head back over to where the code is. I'll leave the code out top for a second longer, and then I need to go to my email. Then I need to download. Which one do you want me to show first?
It's completely up to you.
Okay, that gives me some responsibility. You may have to assume that I'm not a complete expert in these pictures in terms of what they are. Where did I just save that? Oh, professional Addy. He saved things to his computer. There you go. Here you go. Here we go. This is Oregon, which is the first American state to actually appear in Doctor Who Legacy. Tell us more.
Ogron? I think that's how they pronounce it, aren't they? Ogron. Awesome classic enemy that appeared actually quite a few episodes, way back in sort of the 70s. And I don't think has appeared in any reboot episode at all.
It's because he was busy. He was off busy filming Predator.
Yeah, they're
and Lord of the Rings.
They're thugs hired by Daleks in, I think it was Day of the Daleks. But they're great, and they appear to beat the Third Doctor down during a level in Greyhound 1.
You're getting some very positive reception from the chat here. People chanting organs, and I think that I assume organs is the same thing, but unless they've just got problems with their liver. But yes, people seem to be very happy. Oregon represent, says Les. Bretta says, lol, he looks funny. Netrophil says...
Is that a direct quote?
No, sorry, I misread. Netrophil, I'm very sorry. That was a complete accident. Sorry, I apologise for mispronouncing your name. Netrophil says, I've lost it. Oh, he's an ape-like henchman for hire, mainly for the Daleks. And someone's asking what episode he appears in. Vampiri says he's wonderfully old school, just like you.
Then you better bring up the next image, because that's even more wonderfully old school.
Okay.
And I've been threatening this for a long time, and I don't think anyone believed we were going to actually do this. There's some more work in progress.
I've been trying to talk you out of it for quite a long time, and yet I have failed.
I don't know why.
As I fail.
It's amazing.
For those of you that wanted it, and even more so for those of you that didn't, it's Stingray has now joined Doctor Who Legacy. Will Marina be coming soon?
I can't see on the screen yet because I'm days behind you. Are you showing it?
Yeah.
Isn't it great? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it amazing that the actor went, I'm going to pay for this prop because if I'm being stuck on Earth, I'm going to drive around something cool. And he went and made his own prop up for Doctor Who that is now part of canon. I just love that. Like, I'm going to go do this because I'm awesome.
It has to be said that you know when they have clips of classic Who and kind of show Doctor Who's greatest moments, that they don't often show the Who-mobile.
What are you suggesting? I think the game is complete now. As soon as the Who-mobile goes in, we're done. We can walk away.
Okay, good. Oh, I managed to get some of them singing Stingray. Brilliant. And all that kind of stuff. Did you have Stingray in Wales?
Yeah, we had Stingray. We had Banana Man, wasn't it? It was filmed in South Wales. Banana Man. Did you have Banana Man in England?
Banana Man was filmed in South Wales.
Well, cartoon is drawn, like direct produced. Produced is probably the word I need.
Yeah,
Less
probably.
whiskey and the word produced is probably what I need right now.
When Eric eats a banana. Cool. Well, the Hoomobile does look very cool, has to be said.
It
So
is.
this is so the
awesome.
Hoomobile is a companion.
Yeah.
What will be the Hoomobile's abilities? Like Brum.
I don't know. We're gonna have to ask the audience at some point. I'm not sure. We're just getting the art done.
Left turn.
Over the next couple of weeks,
turn.
there's going to be a bunch of characters we need to work out names for. We'll probably be asking people. So
a bunch of characters to work out names for.
Name abilities.
Yeah.
And colours for an ability. All that stuff needs to be sorted out at some point over the next sort of week or two.
Well, you have one of the most enthusiastic communities on the planet, and I'm sure they will be more than delighted to help you name some abilities, especially if it involves some kind of pun.
Yes, pun's always good.
Excellent. Andrew Nuva is continuing the Banana Man introduction. A peculiar transformation occurs, and then he needs to kind of like fly around the world, like doing the whole do 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 that kind of stuff. Anyway, Southwind says I laugh like Ricky Gervais and Lee stands like Stephen Merchant. I think I win that one.
I don't know. I like Stephen's stuff a lot more than Ricky's stuff. Ricky's just sort of loud. Oh, no, I'm not getting off on talking about English comedians. He's just loud and annoying, but funny. But I like the quiet funny more than loud and annoying funny.
I do think Stephen Merchant is hilarious, and I do have to say that, yeah, Ricky Gervais's screechy laugh gets on my tits, and then obviously I realise that I have a loud screechy laugh, and then go, oh, excellent, it's me, huzzah. But that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so enemy abilities and things, stuff. We have new ways to mess with you. And we have new ways.
Can I, before you plummet into it, we're going to go for commercial, and when we get back, I'm going to show you my team of the week, because then I can start using the team of the week while you're telling us about the new enemy abilities.
Brilliant idea.
Cool. So we'll see you in 60, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Well, hey, I'm back. Lee has just logged off for a minute because he's drink right now. And I am going to be showing you this week's Team of the Week, which is a bit unusual because for once I haven't picked it. This was one that came off the Doctor Who Legacy Facebook page. So before we go any further, you know what soundtrack we need. Hang on, I seem to have cocked that up. Let's try that again. Now, here we go. You know what soundtrack we need. You gotta try the Team of the Week. Team of the Week. If you're out of luck and your strategy good inside. It's making me feel good inside right now. You gotta try the team of the week. Team of the week. If your strategy sucks and you find yourself... I don't know, that was the alternative lyrics. Anyway, this week's team of the week was not designed by me, as Susan says, "Okay, thanks," at the top of the screen. This was designed, as I said, by Mr. Alex Hebert. And the whole point of this one is that it's supposed to be able to do an absolutely incredible amount of damage. And in fact, if you go to the Doctor Who Legacy Facebook page and have a look through the threads, you'll see that he's been able to get literally millions of damage out of single characters with this one, which is awesome. So let's have a look at it and what it's all about. Now, this team, of course, is one of the first teams to use the brand new dual color system. Because in effect, this is actually a mono-color team. But of course, with all the dual colors, it's not. But it uses another little feature here, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's just go through the team, and then I'll tell you how it works. And this isn't actually even the highest damage version that Alex put on the Facebook page, but it was the one I liked the most. So I'm gonna talk about it. So we've got the Ninth Doctor, Eccleston variety. We've got George Sampson. We've got Tobias Z, or Toby Tobias Z, or something like that. We've got Fan Jenny, which I always have to make sure I don't spoonerism, and we've got. We've got Oswin Oswald. Oh, Lee is rejoining us, which is fantastic. Oh, Lee is probably rejoining us. Hello!
Hello, hello.
Okay, I'm just going through the team of the week. Here we go, peoples. So we've got Ninth Doctor Eccleston. We've got George Sampson. We've got Toby Tobias Z. We've got Fan Jenny. We've got Oswin Oswald the Dalek. And we have got Stormageddon. Now, this is basically a combo team. I've been doing some reading about like strategy kind of card games recently, and there's various ones that are kind of like they're supposed to like beat the enemy really quickly, or various ones that are supposed to be very kind of like hold back and survive for a long time. But then there's certain ones that are supposed to be like all based around playing a certain combo, and this is the Doctor Who Legacy version of that type of a team. This is a combo team where you want to play the abilities in sequence, and then you will just get a colossal amount of damage. So let's talk about it. Now, what this team basically does is you want to create a huge amount of pink gems. Yes, pink gems. And then you want to power up those pink gems. And then you want to turn those pink gems to black. And then you want to power up those black gems even more. And then you want to attack. That's how this particular team is going to work. Quite a complex little combo, but when you do, you like I said earlier, you can literally get millions of damage with individual characters. So let's just go through the team one at a time, so you can see exactly what abilities they do. Now, remember, of course, all of these people we've got here are at the dual character stage. So this is their highest level of ability, which is slightly different to all the others. So Eccleston, what he is doing is, with Eccleston, what we are hoping to use is the ability that says, if we go to his profile, increase 20% heal for pink gems for 1 turn. So once we've got the pink gems, we want to use him to boost up the pink gems, but we aren't going to use them to heal. We're going to use them to blap stuff. Then if we use George Sampson, George Sampson he stuns target enemy for 3 turns, so he helps to keep us alive. But George Sampson, believe it or not, is one of the highest attacking characters in the whole of Doctor Who Legacy. If you actually look at his attack stat compared to some of the others, he is one of the most powerful attackers, which is why he is here. We've got Tobias Z, he converts pink gems and blue gems to black. So once we've got a board full of pink gems, he's the one we're going to play to turn the whole board into black, which is pretty cool. Then we've got, who else is in the team? We've got Oswald. Now, this is the one that Lee was talking about earlier when he said that she has a kind of an unusual ability as you level up. Like when she's level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, her abilities change. But when you get to the top level, Alex found is that or what Lee's put in is that he will drop 15 black gems after the board has kind of been eliminated. So that gives you even more black gems to go in your combo to give you even more damage. Then we've got Stormageddon, who also has a very high attack rate. He converts yellow gems and green gems to black. So at the point we turn the green gems to black, we also turn all of the yellow and the greens as well. And lastly, Fan Jenny converts blue and green gems to pink. So basically we want to turn the blue gems and the green gems to pink. Then we want to do Zed's ability to turn the other ones to pink. Then we want to use Eccleston to make the pink gems even more powerful. Then we want to turn all the pink gems to black. Then we want to attack and watch everything die. What do you think, Lee?
I said this the other week that we've never designed any team specifically. We try to design really good characters and fun characters who bring something individually maybe a bit more unique to the table, but then en masse can be used for something really interesting. This is an amazing example of that, where the turning things to green. The reason we started that was very early in the development of the game in season 7. We had Artie, the boy who plays Artie Maitland, signed on. We had a couple of kids sign onto the project to be in the game. Yeah. And we suddenly realized that we had, these quite sort of scary in context situations where, fighting things in streets. And now we had the kids in the game, and we needed to be on the side of not making them look like they were walking out there with Ace-style bazookas, but were sort of support characters more than anything. So we thought it would be cool if the kids in the game, at least at the beginning, could turn things to pink, like another way of healing. And that's why we started having turn things to pink, because we needed something a bit softer for them to do, something non-sort of offensive in terms of sort of attacking somebody. And it's amazing that now we have we haven't gone into the game and saying, okay, we need a pink changing team, but we just happen to have a team of characters who work so well together in such a specific way that they're worth showing off on a Twitch chat. So I think that whole thing is quite amazing.
Now, if you watch the attack, which I'm doing right now, of course, you'll know now that once you hit that top level, you get a dual attack. So if you look at, if we just look at George Sampson, who's the second character along, he is black and green. So that means if I match a blue and a green set of gems, he basically attacks twice. And I think Lee could probably correct me here, but the secondary attack is slightly less powerful than the first one. Is that right?
I believe I have to check the numbers. I think it's around 30%. It's less.
Something like that.
Yeah, but it's a team building sort of thing, isn't it? You can really min-max really nicely if you line up those secondary powers in a sensible way.
But Toby Zed and Oswin Oswald, and lots of you have been reminding me that Oswin Oswald is in fact a girl. I challenged that slightly. I mean, have you ever seen boobs on a Dalek? Those little humpy things, they're not boobs. These are both dual characters, but their dual character is black and black. So that actually means when you attack with those guys, you actually get double black, which makes them, in a monocolor team such as this, when you're doing that burst damage, incredibly high. And when you're going for a combo team like this, pushes up the damage even further, which is pretty awesome. And I really like the fact that it, like I said last week, that this dual character system gives more kind of differentiation between characters that were before similar in ability. They're now very, very different. So I'll kind of just play along until I get all the pieces ready for the Uber combo. Why don't you tell us some more about the enemy abilities, Lee?
Oh yeah, the new fun enemy abilities. So I'm just opening my email to make sure I get them right. So the 3 newest ones that came in the last couple of weeks. So I've been sort of layering it into the new content. One is a life tap, so enemies can put a debuff on you that doesn't just damage you but heals them as well, which is a nice variation on the sort of time bomb theme. That it's even more of a threat now because it makes it not only damages you but gives them an advantage. So that's been fun to play with, especially with the new timing stuff I was talking about earlier. So we can start putting more powerful things, or to change up the pacing of a fight. So that's been fun. There's a new one, which we didn't mean to do this, but it's gonna, if you like chain stunning your way through some levels, it's gonna stop you doing that. But that was not the intention. It buffs the enemy and makes them immune to things like poison and bombs and stuns for X turns, and also dispels any they have on them.
That is quite a cool idea, because I did do. The stun team is cool. It was one of my teams a week from weeks ago, but I have seen since then quite a few people saying, I always use all the stunners, and it makes the game really easy. So I'm glad that you've got like a sneaky, haha, gotcha.
It wasn't meant to be a sneaky, haha, gotcha. But it came out of the story because we wanted to add a new, as the universe is collapsing around the Doctor, we wanted to sort of show that through characters a little bit more. So you come up against, we've been calling them time-sundered characters. These, starting with the least corporal of enemies in the world, in the canon of Doctor Who. These guys who are the first to go as time collapses around them, they're now in this terrible state where their last minutes in reality being sucked out of it, where they gain this new ability, which is they become immune to things that used to hurt them, like poison and stuns, because they're on their last legs being pulled out of time. So they gain this sundered ability. So it's used very sparingly and within the story context. But you'll see that more and more over the next few months as we add more content.
So here we go. Here's in theory, I'll be able to go for the combo here. This is the first time I've attempted it. Probably should have tried it off stream, but let's hope this one works. So I'm going to use... No, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use Fan Jenny to turn blue and green gems to pink. Ta-da! Pink. I'm going to use Eccleston to increase the power of the pink gems. Ta-da! I'm then going to use Stormageddon to turn yellow and green gems to black. Ta-da! I think the only ones that are going to be left on the board are the reds here, so we'll see if we can get them to some sort of combo as well. We're going to use Zed to turn the pink and the blue gems to black, although mainly we're looking here at the pink gems. Ta-da! And then we're going to use Oswin to drop 15 black gems after they've been eliminated. And then it's just our goal, basically, to get as much combo here as possible. And I think the easiest way to do that is actually going to be to link up the reds rather than the others. So if we just come across here and quickly put together something like that, the whole board should go, and then a whole load of other black stuff has dropped. And then look at this! Look at this! Whoa! Huzzah! Oh, they all be dead. They all be so dead. That was cool. Okay, Leo, you can obviously wait 40 seconds to see it. But trust me, it's cool. So I'm now waiting for the stream to catch up. Okay, I'll drink some beer while you wait for you to go huzzah. Awkward pause.
Yes, huzzah. Well done. Awesome.
That's pretty cool. So again,
it's a fun team.
So that's Alex Hebert. So thank you so much for that idea. And I was chatting to Lee just during the break. We are going to give away a copy of that team. Is that right?
Yeah. Susan's running some codes off, I believe, right now.
Cool. So if you would like that team, stick around, because that's going to be our giveaway tonight. Obviously, you've got to get them up to the high level, level 40 or so to actually use them. But it is possible to do a similar thing with different characters. But I thought that one was particularly cool. And thank you for all the huzzahs. Quab says, that was impressive. Jody Nye says, can we call this the Addy Squeal team? Sure. Oh, hang on. Dialogue. All hail the new Daleks. Cleanse the unclean. Total obliteration. Disintegrate. That was it. That was the dialogue. That was good. Thanks, Lee.
I didn't write that.
Really?
Yeah. That's the line that they say when they appear out of the progenitor machine, or what it's called.
You mean you stole the line?
I wouldn't use it that way when making a Doctor Who game. It's not.
You were overly inspired by something that already existed?
I think that's a much more polite way to use.
Okay.
To describe that. I don't know. I think at this point, anyone who puts exterminate anywhere, it's sort of, it can't be claimed as anything.
Fair point.
I think it's been overused for Daleks over the years.
Me and Clara have just finished watching Daleks, which is the William Hartnell second adventure. And as you know, we on Saturday nights, quick plug, do a Doctor Who gaming show where we also do some full-on reviews of Doctor Who episodes. We'll be discussing that in more detail there. But they do say exterminate, even in the very, very first one. They don't say it very much, has to be said. But then maybe they weren't overusing it at that point. But it was there at least once. So any other cool new abilities in there or cool other little tidbits of news you'd like to share?
Well, the other one that's going to be interesting in terms of sort of end game players and something to mess with you a little bit in a different way is we can now give an enemy the ability to hit for a percentage of your hit points. So you can't walk in with teams who are just massively laden with health.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we can do, each time they hit you with 20% of whatever you have, not necessarily, 20% by value of what you're guessing you have. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another fun one to mess with, because you can do interesting levels where, if you know what sort of percentage you're taking off people's health and not try to guess based on a random team they're walking in with.
Hang on, sorry, Mrs. Poser just walked past with the cat. Shall I cover the... Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. Poser just walking past, so I'm just going to cover the old camera. She currently has a cat on display. I'm whipping through some Daleks today. Victory of the Daleks T. Victory of the Daleks Dark Side of the Moon. I'm now on Victory of the Daleks the Progenitor device, which is very, very cool.
That was the name of it. That's right. Yeah, yes. Yeah, a great episode. It was a Gattis written episode, wasn't it? He does his themed World War II stuff.
Actually,
he likes his historical stuff. So my wife would like to know that it is an actual cat on display. Although I was doing a slight double entendre, she was actually carrying a cat for you teenage boys out there.
For the person who's on a 40-second delay, where that whole conversation was really weird and confusing, having not seen what was on the screen.
Sorry. I apologise. Style says Lee's reflection doesn't appear in mirrors. Where the hell did that come from?
That's awesome. How do you know?
Someone said, Dr. Lee, that is so evil that I think if you looked into a mirror, you'd see a Dalek.
I'm not sure. Did I just black out for a few minutes and come back and I've said something really offensive?
Normally when you say something offensive, it's directed towards me and I notice, but I haven't spotted it.
They just don't like the new abilities. That's what they
One of them's just called me silly.
I think we both missed something huge here. It's very timey-wimey.
I don't know what we did. I know that the light is getting darker, so I'm slowly merging into my chair, but it's okay. It makes me look moody. And, courageous.
So how are you finding Season 5, playing through it as a gamer? Is it easy? Is it hard? Although you leveled all your characters now. You're running through this with this overpowered team. Just trampling over everything you come across.
Well, if that's the case or not, I'm loving it. I think there's a lot more variety in terms of the attacks that are coming at me. And because I now have a wider variety of teammates, I'm using a wider variety of abilities in my gameplay rather than just doing, say, just always changing red gems to blue or something like that. I'm using a lot more different things. I'm getting surprised more by, having all the gems black out, and things like that. So no, I'm really enjoying it. And it's, I think Season 6 in terms of gameplay felt like a harder version of Season 7. Whereas Season 5 really feels like almost like a slight sequel. It's definitely different and developed. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, well, everything you said is completely true. We built 7 and 6 at the same time, so they used the same tools and abilities, and it was a scaling issue. And changing the content as you go through the seasons, but also making it harder. When we hit 5, we had all these
Season 6 is good. I'm not criticising Season 6, but I think by the time you get to the end of Season 6, you're ready for something different, and here it is.
Hopefully when you get to the end of Season 5, you'll be ready for the Greyhound 1 stuff, which should feel an evolution yet again, not in just terms of gameplay, but the story as well.
I'm going to turn the light on because no one can see me, so tell the people something interesting.
Randomly come up with something interesting. I can't do random discussion. Well, Greyhound 1 should be out in 3 weeks, and then more content, which we can't talk about yet, should be a few weeks after that. October, November. So over the next few months, there'll be a lot of stuff to play in this game. A lot of new characters. If you are at the sort of bleeding edge and sitting there waiting for new stuff to come out, we're trying to keep you're occupied with stuff. 'Cause that's the downside of not having it. Have you gone to a different house to find your light switch?
No, I'm just sitting here listening to you talk about the bleeding edge.
Oh, okay. Because your video on my screen is 40 seconds delayed, so like you wander off for ages.
It takes me a while to get to the light switch. I'm quite overweight now.
So yeah, we took the energy system out, which means we can time gate people, which means we have people spread out across the whole spectrum of our content. So if you are at that bleeding edge waiting for stuff, we are making it as quickly as we can, and we have some really fun stuff coming to challenge over the next few months. And a Facebook version.
Oh, and it's 5 minutes. Oh, hang on. Is it 9 p.m. UK time or 9 p.m. American time?
No, it's 9 p.m. Pacific it launches, because that's when... well, we have to wait for the Taiwan guys to get back in.
What's the... God! I thought we was going to go live right in the middle of the stream, and I was going to get to...
Sorry to disappoint you.
I was going to get to read out all the tutorial dialogue again with you here.
Yeah, let's not do that. I think over the next few weeks you should focus on getting through Season 5, ready to show off Greyhound 1.
If you'd like to have me read the tutorial dialogue out with Lee here as an audience, please could you raise your hand in the audience? God, I've had too much of one beer. I'm repeating words and sentences.
I should send you some of the script for Greyhound 1. You could just sit there and read that with no context to see how people think.
I could provide. I think you're missing a trick here. I could provide all the voices for the game.
Is that what we're missing? There's that thing you're missing, and it's obviously you doing all the voiceovers in different accents and different genders for different characters.
People don't want to read the dialogue; they want to feel the dialogue, and that's where I come in. Most of them have raised their hand. Many of them have raised their hand, including Susan.
It's such an amazing community. Thank you, everyone who sent in sort of bug reports and things over the last couple of weeks. We do try to fix it as quickly as possible. We really do appreciate being prodded for some of this stuff, because we are sort of always looking forward to new stuff to build and not quite spending enough time on slowing down and fixing up the stuff. But we'll get better at that.
Amazing pun here from ZRS1. Story time with me should be called Jack Adinori. Come on, that's good. Jack Adinori.
You're going to have to explain that to a lot of non-UK people who are in the stream.
I never explain my jokes. You either get them or you don't. And that's what I say to my pupils as well, and their parents when they write in.
That's even more terrible. You as a teacher doing this in front of a class.
I am a beacon of education. Just imagine, instead of me talking about gems flying across the screen, it's philosophy. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, next level. What should we talk about now?
Are we going to give away a couple of these teams? Can we do that yet?
Yeah,
it's been a while since we...
Yeah, Susan was knocking the codes together. If you ping her somewhere, wherever she is. She's in another room. She's not in this room with me. So I can't answer.
Okay, I will yell at her. Give me codes. Lovely. There you go.
When I was in the UK over the 50th anniversary last year, I picked up a couple of those. They did like a special 50th anniversary Doctor Who magazine. It was like this big pack. You got posters in there, and there were cards for each of the doctors. It was a really extravagant thing. And we finally opened it up to get the poster out to frame it and put it on our wall. And it was a little disappointing, because for the 50th anniversary poster, it's all Moffat-created things. Everything on the poster is something designed by Steve Moffat, going back to everything, every one of his major characters. Which made me a little bit sad.
Do you think he lives in like Russell T's shadow? Like, does he have a little bit? Well, clearly my series is better because I've.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine. I don't know, but I wouldn't imagine it. I think you know as well. I've told you many times. I love everything he's ever written. I've been a huge fan of his since Press Gang back in the day when I was a kid, and we watched all of Coupling together. And Hyde is amazing. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of his as a writer. I think I know you like to quote. Start picking at flaws, but I think that he is really good at writing big arcs. But like I said before,
so we're talking about Moffat or David?
Moffat. But like I said, as with the latest Regeneration episode, I think there were just too many ideas.
I didn't know Moffat did Press Gang.
He was a teacher. His dad was a head teacher. The BBC somebody came to his dad to write something about a school, about like a newspaper in a school, and he handed it to his son to do. And I'd say it was his
Does that mean Stephen Moffat's met Julius Wallawalla?
I would assume so. Didn't he write like 5 seasons? Anyway, I'm a huge fan of this. I wouldn't ever say that he's in his shadow. In the same way, I wouldn't say that he's in Moffat's shadow. I think they're both amazing writers who do very unique things. I think if Moffat did a spin-off show, it would be like, something a bit darker, something going off into space. But when Rusty T.
darker
Davies,
than Torchwood.
well, yeah, a bit harder than Torchwood. But Rusty Davies really shines in things like Sarah Jane. I think is a great show for kids and for adults to watch as well, and deals with exactly the same subject matter in a very, very different way. And I don't think Moffat would ever write anything like that. Write like Sarah Jane Adventure. I think it would be a much darker, space, edgy thing, or a period piece like the Paternoster Gang.
Well, of course, Moffat's so busy though. He's likely just to be doing Sherlock when he's not doing Doctor Who. Anyway, boys and girls, we have got, we're going to be giving away one Team of the Week right now for free, and then a bit later on, we're going to be giving 2 more copies of the Team of the Tweak away for Team of the Tweak. Love it. That needs to be a song. Way for Addy Gold. So if you want to be in with the running of a copy here, you just need to say the word combo, because this is the combo team. So just say the word combo. COMBO. Nothing before it, nothing after it, no punctuation, no exclamation mark, no random capitals. And you need to make sure that you are following the channel. If you're not following the channel, the bot will not pick you. This giveaway is purely between me, you, Tiny Rebel Games, and your mother, and doesn't involve Twitch in any way, shape, or form. If you are busy following the channel for the giveaway, then obviously do make sure that you follow Tiny Rebel Games on Facebook and Twitter, and myself as well. We are going to go to commercial, and when we come back, one of you will be a Team of the Week richer. See you in a sec. Okay, people, we're back. I just for a minute was tempted then not to actually unmute the microphone, because obviously then I could communicate with you through the power of mime, which would be quite a cool alternative way of doing the show. But I didn't. I decided not to, mainly because I wanted to tell you that I was going to do the power of mime. So next time it happens, maybe I will. In fact, it might be worth getting a camera on Lee at some point, just so he can communicate with you through the power of mime. Lee, if those of you that don't know, before Lee went into games design, he actually was one of those kind of expressive dancers.
Mimes. You go to when you go to some big square in some big city and you see people standing there miming. What's the one in London called?
Yeah.
Covent Garden. I worked at Covent Garden for quite a while.
Yeah. You can make quite good money there as well.
Yeah. You put your hours. It's hot standing outside all day, and people don't really care about you. But yeah, you can make some money.
Plus, the white makeup runs quite a lot as well.
Oh, in the London heat in the summer, it's horrible. You just sweat.
Yeah, it's
like you're bleeding in white paint.
I mean, luckily, of course, coming from Wales, you probably haven't got a lot of tan anyway, so just your natural skin complexion will probably do.
Yeah, I'd probably actually, if it's somebody coated with white paint, I might actually go up in sort of skin colour.
Oh, I cracked first. Damn it. You made me laugh.
Let's take some questions from people.
Okay,
because your ones are getting increasingly either insane or not questions, just sort of running on.
Hey, I've asked some very intelligent and helpful game-related questions today.
Are there any questions in the queue? There must be a question in the queue by now.
Yeah, there's lots of questions in the queue. The crazy, but I was having a rant.
Little box in the corner. Oh, I see.
Anyway, Alfred GGG says, will we see the Brigadier art today?
Not today. We can't today. We're wrapping up a few crossing T's and dots on above, vertical letters. It's soon, really soon. Soon. Not long off.
I've come up with an idea for the 4th Doctor, by the way.
Okay.
you get a giant number 4 and you put some cartoon eyeballs on it and a scarf.
Did I just create this in my living room, or is it a point of this?
Well, you probably get one of your artists to draw it, but if you can't, use the 4th, then you can make a 4.
That sounds like an amazing idea. I'll definitely do that. Next question.
Thank you. Okay. Small Blue Monkey, who is a little bit Amy Pond obsessed, says, can we have a young Amelia Pond as a character so we can have a whole team of Amy's?
I think that's a great idea. I'll add it to the list. I think that's a very good idea to get young Amelia Pond. I was trying to get the young. There was a young master who was on screen for about 4/5 of a second.
Yes, he looked into the time vortex and went nuts.
The Untempered Schism, I think it's called. Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, wash your mouth up.
Yeah, I think young Amelia Pond would be awesome, and I'm making a note of that now.
Okay. Wow. Small Blue Monkey, you have your wish. Laura has told me to not forget the raffle. That's a good point, Laura. I had actually forgotten the raffle. So I will close that, and I will start the tombola. Okay, so we're going to give away one copy of the Team of the Week right now, and then we'll give away a couple more in about 20 minutes or so to people with their added gold. So everyone only has one attempt at this one, so it's completely even Stevens on who's going to win. 209 people have entered, so you will have a 1 in 209 chance of winning. Lee, what's that as a percentage?
I don't know, but you know what I'll go off on a tangent, but tombola, nobody's going to understand what tombola is. Do you know what country's tombola is actually a known term in? Britain's, South Africa, Croatia, Italy, Turkey, and Austria. Nowhere else in the world knows what a tombola is. And you keep calling it tombola, and there's got to be probably 75% of people here who don't come from those countries.
I have no idea how to respond to that, Lee. I don't know whether to make a joke.
You need a different term for tombola, because tombola doesn't mean anything to anyone. That's a very 1960s English term, tombola. It's not. It's used. It's used in the UK and Croatia and like 2 other countries. South Africa, Croatia, and UK.
I know what it means.
You need to be more international.
Besides, it's not like
tombola.
Besides, it's not like if I'm going to run the tombola and all these names start appearing on the screen that people are going to be there going, I don't understand what's happening.
No, that's because you're going to be googling the word tombola.
What the hell is a tombola? I don't understand. There was a competition and we entered. Now there's names on the screen. I can't understand the connection. Oh, it's a tombola. It's a tombola. And start spinning in the stream and stuff. I mean, come on, people can work it out. Oh, excellent. Celestina is helpfully saying, "Oh, I always thought he was saying tumbler." Brilliant.
Actually, that makes so much more sense. So much more sense.
Tumbler. What the hell is a tumbler?
I think
isn't that like what you put in the
like
washing?
they're tumbling around? That makes more sense than tombola. Okay, tombola sounds like a made-up word.
What would you like to call it?
I don't know, but not tombola.
Find a
synonym for tombola that's used in more than 4 countries in the world, and you'll be in a good sort of place to start.
Fine. Tombola thesaurus. Let's see what comes up. Although if it comes up with R.I.P. Anki, you only have yourself to blame. Lottery, drawing, synonyms. There are no synonyms.
Every time people's names pop up on a screen while the tombola's running, their blood pressure goes up just a little bit. So you're slowly killing off everyone who's watching this just by running that for minutes and minutes.
Well, I would have drawn it a while back until I was savagely attacked for my use of
I told you I was going to go off on a tangent. You should stop me. But I think it's a fair
correct
point to
English language. Megaforce has suggested Addy's Wheel of Mystery. Would you prefer me to call it Addy's Wheel of Mystery?
Addy's Wheel of Awesomeness.
We need like things that rhyme. We could do something what rhymes with random, or maybe like the something selector. What rhymes with selector? Need to be a word that means choosing a person, then rhymes with like the word prize or something like that. I shall ponder this one and get back to you. But for now, our winner of the first giveaway tonight is Krentukai, who is a follower. They were a follower. They remembered to follow the channel before entering. God, my voice. I'll send it to Susan. Please send one to Korenjukai. Congratulations, Korenjukai. You are our first winner tonight. Good, great, cool, great, smashing super. What else are we talking about?
Well, we got to do questions, and we did one, and then went off on a half an hour tangent about weird things.
About Tom Boyle. See, you ever get me for going off on tangents, and then you start a big debate about the phoneticism of the word tombola.
You lead the show. You're supposed to be stopping me from doing these things.
I'm never going to stop you going off on an interesting tangent. I love interesting tangents. You should see me play other games. I never get anything done. ZRS1 says, thanks for the Fifth Doctor. When can we expect his portrait outfit? I assume that means, that kind of slightly more moody artwork style. Is there one of him in the works?
It's going to have to be after we ship Greyhound 1. We really want to try to finish that off. It's just an art pipeline, and the portrait thing takes, there's a lot of time in there. We could draw a lot of other characters. So right now we're just making new characters for the new content. And again, this will make a lot more sense when you know what else is coming down the pipeline while we're pushing off. Even things that we really want, like the Fifth Doctor costume, is going to have to wait a little bit.
The Doctor Who girl asks, Addy, are you ticklish? Mainly only to my father doing Vulcan death grips right here. That's the one that mainly tends to get me. Obviously, he hasn't done that for a while, since I was probably about 11. But it got me really bad at the time. Other than that, not majorly. Although I don't like it when you kind of like someone tickles just there. That's quite tickly. Lee, are you ticklish?
So this is an appropriate tangent to go off on.
You said, let's take some questions. That was a question that's been asked that is now up on the screen.
We should go off to
raising it as a point of discussion.
I am horribly ticklish. I am horribly ticklish. Yes, that's all I can say is that, yeah, I'm uncontrollably horribly ticklish.
Okay. Does Susan tickle you?
No, because I fling my arms around like a child and end up like concussing her. So she knows better than not to tickle me.
That's good. Right, okay. Our Amy has posted the origin of the word tombola, but I'm not going to put it up on the screen because I'm not sure I can handle any more raffle-related questions. Oh, interesting. Hovian's Rule says, Lee, the Ninth Doctor's costumes all have different eye colours. Is that a mistake?
Yes. That's weird. Yes, we must have messed up some point. Drop an email to support and let us know which one's messed up.
Really? And people complain about those kind of things?
Today they do. We'll fix it. That's
okay.
It's built to quickly fix little things like that. But then we should go through the chain of people who signed off on this and shout at all of them in order. Maybe. Well,
yeah, definitely. Someone needs to be blamed for the we could call it Eyegate.
This is the big thing now. Dum 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 dum. Front page of Fox News. The Doctor Who Eyegate scandal.
In today's news, Doctor Who Legacy was rocked by the scandal of realizing that the Peter Eccleston Doctor has different eye colors in different costumes. We asked Susan to comment on this, and she said, asked Lee. Lee says, what? Oh, God, I'm so... Too much beer. Sorry, I lost that one in the middle. I apologize. I'll come back later and I'll have some sort of fun comedy sketch going. Someone else says... Face Death Dave, which is a lovely name, says, any news on Big Finish yet, as it's been a while since we talked about it, or a while since he asked?
No word from Big Finish yet. Still waiting. but we have other news from other corners. The Doctor Who wider expanded universe coming soon, very soon. So hold on for that.
Thank you.
I have been listening through in order all the Eighth Doctor ones though. All the Eighth Doctor Big Finish. That's a good thing about flying. You can sort of put your head back, put some Big Finish on, and just listen to the Eighth Doctor talk for hours and hours and hours.
And what do you think of them? I've never listened to them. Would you recommend them?
I think they start off a little. I've listened to a load of the later ones, and I've started going through sequentially from the beginning. I think the beginning ones are a lot weaker than the later ones. But they were done over so many years, it's sort of to be expected. You'd hope they'd get better writing the character and doing everything over years. So I think the early ones are fun, but didn't really stand out.
So would you recommend if someone is trying them for the first time they should probably not go from the start?
Yeah, I think I listen to the later ones. I'm like, wow, this would be an amazing episode, and it stands up there. This great thing you can sit and listen to. And I thought the earlier ones were still sort of finding their footing a little bit, but they obviously did because it gets so good later. But it's some interesting things. Your companions just turn up around the console of the TARDIS. So it's always fun, always an interesting discussion. Where did you come from? If somebody just appears in the TARDIS, so there's some interesting little hooks in there to get you going. But
right, let's go for the combo again, like we did earlier, to get this very cool little thing on the row. So we're turning everything pink. We've then turned all the pink into super duperly. Oh no, I didn't. Because the Eccleston had gone past that ability. Okay, so it isn't going to be powered up. Damn it, that kind of spot that. Then we're going to turn all the pink ones to that color. Then we're going to get 15 additional black drops. Then I'm going to quickly match up all of the reds. Like so. The whole board's going to go shebang. Loads of extra ones. All of the characters are going to attack at the same time. And hopefully everything's going to die. Woo! Huzzah! I love this combo team. It's wicked. Hee. Okay, let's do another question. Are we? I'd be interested in that actually, because obviously I've been watching the original ones, and she's cool.
Wait, I just saw you clear that board, and the 3 columns on the left all filled with black gems, which is interesting.
They always do that
when they refill from an ability. Oh, they fill from left to right. I didn't know that because we just started messing with these abilities. I didn't realize they filled in some sort of sequence.
I think they fill from the top first, but if you've emptied the whole board like we just did then they come in from the left.
Got it. Yeah, there's.
I think
we want to get every single character from Doctor Who in here at some point. It's purely just working backwards and working sideways and working through this huge list of companions. We take a lot of things into consideration when we decide who's coming next. Things we want in the game and things fans want in the game and email us about, and which companions are traditionally thought of as the more popular companions. We have to gravitate towards those earlier. So it's just a matter of time. Us getting
Ian Chesterton, obviously.
That's the problem with having basing a game on 50 years of content. 36 seasons of TV or something, and then dozens and dozens of well-known characters who are loved in a way that sort of major characters in some other series are loved. These secondary companions are loved in their own right, and we will get to them all as quickly as we can.
Which raises even more questions about, like you say, with the dozens of loved companions and companions and friends and stuff, about why you went for the Whomobile before all of them. But it's kind of like
that was a suggestion from Peter, our producer at the BBC. We were doing Bessie.
It's kind of like scraping the barrel while the barrel is actually still full. Is actually still full.
No, I think the Whomobile is a great addition, a very specific part of Doctor Who history, of Doctor Who canon. It's an interesting thing. It's unlike anything else in the canon of Doctor Who. I think it's so different. It deserved to be in there. But it was Peter's idea. When I said Bessie, he said, "How about Whomobile?" I was like, "Yeah, we should do those as a pair of vehicles to have."
Okay.
Everyone wants Third Doctor and Bessie and the Whomobile as the basis of a team. What a great!
It's fine.
What a great setup to it.
I'm happy to be the odd one out. I'll be the guy that disagrees with everyone else. It's fine.
Well, that's the thing with so many characters and such a huge depth of canon and lore. You're never going to get. There's every single person has this ideal sequence that we will release characters in, and they're different. This sequence is different for every single person who plays this game. So we have to sort of try to balance and juggle things and.
I am now receiving quite a lot of abuse from the chat.
As you should. As you should.
So, I am being savaged by Whovians. Did you know Whovian is actually in the dictionary now?
I did not know that. Which dictionary? The official Doctor Who dictionary?
No, like Oxford or whatever, whichever one is the one that decides whether things are words or not.
Isn't that Twitter that decides things are words or not these days? I don't think anyone cares about what words the Oxford English Dictionary thinks are words these days, whether other people are using it.
It's a word. Move on.
I picked up this great book called The Doctor Who Vault, Treasures from the First 50 Years, with a foreword by Stephen Moffat. It's really, really, really good.
Does it have pop-up flaps.
It's you. It has pop-up pictures. Yeah, you open a thing and then a weeping angel pops up here and you freak out. It's year by year through every season of Doctor Who and all the things that happened and all the merchandise they did with them, all the different these used to use sweets and candy and stuff in the 60s and 70s. All these little weird iron-on T-shirt decals, and it's really good. It's an amazing book for any Doctor Who fan. I picked up one of those. In the UK you don't see them a lot over here, but I was walking around Cardiff and there were a bunch of these sort of places that buy books in bulk and sell them off a bit cheaper than the recommended retail price of books. And you always pick up these big sort of coffee table books, big hardbacks that open up and like crush a hamster. Those huge books, they always have them really quite cheap. And they had this amazing Doctor Who one, which is normally like 30 quid. And I picked up for 12 quid in this sort of discount bookstore. But it's really amazing. It's a really amazing book that goes through with a lot of love and care through 50 years of Doctor Who. Are you playing a level?
I am loving the level. I've just used the awesome combo, except I forgot through intelligence to use the Oswin ability. So I then used it the turn afterwards, and it turned out I had enough damage, and I've just destroyed my way through the finale. Daleks ain't got nothing on this combo.
I'm glad that you found a team you liked finally. It took a while, didn't it?
I like all of them. I still want my Sylvester McCoy team. I have the same hard-on for Sylvester McCoy that you do for Paul McGann. But I, through in the name of variety and showmanship, will change.
What's next week's team of the week? Do we know? Do you have any ideas yet?
No, but because all of the whole, because I can now upgrade the characters, I'm definitely going to try and go for some like weird and wonderful stuff, which is going to be pretty cool.
You should do a multicolour team, one of every colour. Trying to do a season.
A multi-color team.
A multi. That's like a season 5. A really hard level as you hit you're at the beginning of season 5. But as you get later, you actually, there's some harder levels. Trying to walk in with a massive multicolour team and not focusing on, mono or dual colour. Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, maybe try and bring in some of the rarer abilities as well, and line them up to certain levels and things like that. Is Susan still planning on coming on? Because I'm heading off in about 10 minutes, so if she wants to join us, now would be an appropriate time.
Oh no, we'll leave her. No, we'll just do the last. Are you going to do some more codes before you go?
Oh yeah, we got 10 minutes left, but but let's start the giveaway on that then. So
because your tombola always takes about a year to sort of finish up. So we should start it 15 minutes ago.
Well, it's more that I get distracted in the middle of it, and then we talk about, I don't know, the price of cheese in Australia this time of year.
Do you like I used the word tombola for the first time? Just to calm me down a bit.
Calm me? Thank you.
Okay, start your roll.
Okay, people, if you would like to win a copy of the Team of the Week, Lee, sing the line.
No.
There we go. There you are. That's how much he wants your money.
I'm not singing, because you know what? Because you can just sort of crop that and put it on loop, and I'll sound ridiculous forever. And that'll be my legacy to the world, is me singing Team of the Week on loop on YouTube.
You know what? I hadn't even thought about doing that, but now you've said it, I would totally do that.
Did you play the new fan level, by the way? There was a new fan level. We haven't talked about it. A new fan level came out this week.
I can go and play the new fan level. Let's start the giveaway though before we do so. So check Addy Gold, people! ! Addy Gold. Beeporama loves Sassy Lee. I think Beeporama has a small thing for you. Are you aware of that?
I was not aware of that. I can't read the chat stream when we're talking. Well, it's sort of pointless because it's so far behind us, and I have to concentrate on talking, not sounding ridiculous. So I can't really.
Is that because you're pissed?
Well, I realised how I'm going to praise you a bit. How hard a job you have when I sat at your temple of computers in that corner, and and there were like a million things going on. I had a hard enough time just reading and replying to questions, and you have to like juggle all this and play a game at the same time. So now I know why you die so much in the game.
Thank you. I did find, I have to say, starting to stream was like learning a new skill, because I've done YouTube now for quite a long time, and when you do YouTube, you start the game, you press record, and you just focus on being entertaining. Well, that's how I do it anyway. But when you're live streaming, like you said, you have to focus on what people are saying and on what you're playing and on who you're talking to if there's someone on there. But I love it. I think I hope that people watching think that I've kind of developed the skill pretty well. I mean, I'm aware, like we found earlier, I'm aware I miss tons that goes on in the chat. Who knows why that person was upset earlier? We don't know. hopefully we catch enough of it. Anyway, right. So hopefully you've checked your Addy Gold. I shall start the raffle now. 2 winners. 2 winners for this. Oh, someone just cut off the sound effect. 2 winners for this one. If you want to buy yourself a ticket, it's !raffle ticket space and then the number of tickets you want. For example, !raffle ticket space 20 would give you 20 chances to win. Of course, you've got to make sure that you're following the channel or the bot won't pick you. You've got to make sure that you are, no, I don't think I've got anything else alive. Otherwise, you can't win. Dead people are excluded. While we're talking about following and stuff like that, of course, remember, Doctor Who Legacy has their own Facebook page, which is all very, very active, which is where I got today's Team of the Week from. You've got my personal YouTube channel, my personal Facebook channel, Facebook page, and Twitter and things like that if you want updates on when I'm playing Shiz. And if any of you would like to use it, there is a donate button immediately below the stream, which will give you 50 free Addy Gold, a special golden star by your name, and an on-screen message or whatever you put if any of you would like to use it. Okay, we're going to go to commercial, and when we come back, we'll pick a winner and answer a few more questions. See you in a sec. Sorry, guys. Lee says I had to stop doing sign language. He said that it would upset you.
And you haven't beaten expert version Daleks of the Rift. There's a lot of characters you need to vacuum up in the fan era.
I've been thinking of the jokes that I use during our streams. These jokes don't just come naturally.
I spent days writing jokes on this. It's been a bad thing.
Exactly. You know, for those of you who are interested, me and Lee tend to meet up a couple of days beforehand. I tell him, you know, he gives me some insults to use on him, and I give him a few insults to use on me, and then we kind of work out the kind of banter from there. But I've actually got a script in front of me right here. Actually, it's on the back of that, and yeah, that's how the show works. Okay, for those of you thinking of starting a live stream channel, unless you're willing to put the hours of preparation in, it won't happen. It won't happen. At least half the stream seems to be shouting no sound.
Good job, Addy. Good job.
half of them got it. For those of you that obviously couldn't hear me, I was going for the whole, the Nelson Mandela guy, the guy at the Nelson Mandela's tribute thing that didn't know how to sign language and just started making stuff up. I was going for that. Right, we have a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway, Lee. We've sold 7,575 tickets. I'm going to close the giveaway in about 1 minute's time. And so this is your chance to win yourself a Team of the Week. All 5 characters, I believe, and a little bit of love from me and Lee. Spaz says it's not true friendships unless you insult each other. I assume that's why his name's Spaz. Purple Ninja says my kitchen smells like babies. I think she's addressing that one to you.
This has got really quite surreal. I don't remember talking about that. Did we talk about microwaving babies at some point? And then somebody's gone and done it?
God, no. We never talked about that. Who the hell were you talking about that to? Oh, God. What the frick?
I think next time you have to be sober. This doesn't work well with you laughing half the time of the show. It doesn't.
Oh, you cannot turn that one round on me. You cannot turn that one around on me. Microwaving babies?
You told me your baby smells your kitchen smells of babies, or your baby smells of your kitchen. And my child smells of brisket.
I'm talking to Susan next week. And I'm going to... Right. Okay, let's do that giveaway and try and forget that didn't happen. Deb Dove says we are both not sober.
That's true.
Jody says you broke Addy.
That's true.
Small Blunky, there we go, new name, says sometimes I worry for Susan.
So do I.
Love something says giggling drunks. I'm not actually. Have I gone red? Oh, I've gone a little bit red. Right. Let's close the raffle. Let's start the Wheel of Appeal. How's that?
It's worse.
I tried. Okay, how about the... There's nothing good that rhymes with anything. How about the name
Wait,
of...
quote of the week. There's nothing good that rhymes with anything.
There isn't. God, everyone has started talking about microwave babies. This is all your fault.
Just start destroying Strax's bad dream. Look at the new background.
I
Isn't that
can't.
cool? It's like a time vortex in a dream with the TARDIS warping into it.
I would, but it's not one of those things that you like where it stuns your entire team.
Okay.
And every time it happens, I can just picture you giggling and going, you see what happens then is they can't do anything. And it's funny.
It is. Come on, fight him.
I am.
Oh, yeah, I'm 40
Trying.
seconds behind you. That's right.
I am. I'm fighting. I'm fighting my little heart out.
You could blame Susan for this level. It was all her idea. She thought, wouldn't it be cool if Strax had a bad dream where other Sontarans harassed him for who he became? And then we give away a special version of Strax, which is based on some of the cool Sontaran art we have.
Have you ever seen...
And I said yes.
The Winnie the Pooh thing with heffalumps and weasels?
Where it gets really sort of acidy trippy. That one.
Yes. Yes.
Well, yeah, we were members of Disneyland for a while, and they have a ride there. And one part of that ride is just all of that weird color.
Heffalumps and weasels. You need to do like Addy's dream. Or like Adipose's dream, and have like lots of adiposes of different colours, like walking around, and maybe a few like Sontarans going past, and then some like Daleks with wings.
No, we had an email or somebody posted on Facebook or something. Somebody asked for a level which is called Addy's Nightmare, and it's all the status effects you hate. We requested that this week. We had an email about that.
Did you email your own support?
No. Somebody who watches this emailed support or posted on Facebook or somewhere. It got to my inbox. Because they suggested we make an Addy's Nightmare where it's all the things you die to. So it would be sort of gems and colours and, and monsters to fight.
Somehow, despite the fact that I'm clearly right about everything, you seem to take kind of fan sentiment with you.
I'm just saying, we got this message through. It came through. Somebody asked specifically for an Addy's Nightmare level. I thought you'd like it since you just suggested you wanted Addy's Dream. Somebody was way ahead of you.
No, I do like it. No. Sorry. I apologize. No, I love the idea. I was just lamenting the fact that you got one about Addy's Nightmare before you got, like, you know, Lee's Empty Bottle or something, you know, or whatever would upset you.
I'm not sure the brand team would let me put in a level called Lee's Empty Bottle. They may be pushing somewhere that I shouldn't be pushing. So that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be suggesting that.
Fair enough. Oh, God, I've got a big lock in the middle of the room thing. Careful lumps and woozles. Right. Oh, I'm going, it's a big... So Strax dreams of other Centaurans. Yes? No?
Yeah. You need to do this raffle. Finish this raffle up as well, because people are now complaining.
My entire screen just went blank. What are people complaining about? Angelina says, no, they will not be picking a winner for this, just going to leave the tombola on forever. She called it a tombola. Do you know what Angelina said in the chat earlier? It wasn't pleasant.
What?
Oh, hang on. 12 Oswald is here. 12 Oswald, congratulations. 12 Oswald is now a member of the posse. Has their little image up on the adiposetv.com and now has a very cool little blue star by their name when they speak. You know who isn't on the adiposetv.com? Lee and Susan, because they haven't submitted their images. And it's been... I think we're coming up to about a third of a year now.
No, it's not. It's like 6 weeks.
It's so more than that, and you know it is. As you'll say, I can hear the uncertainty in your voice. You're like, it's been 6 weeks?
Well, I can tell you, because I still have on my desktop the horrible little thing I drew, and I can tell you when I drew it.
Hang on.
June the 8th. I sat down on June the 8th and drew it. What's that? Oh, it's only...
That was like a month of... No, like 2 months after I first suggested it, that you grudgingly sat down and drew a picture of your elbow.
It's not far from the picture. It's horrible. I'm not going to send it to you. I'll just have to... I'm going to come in with... It'll be a black circle that looks like a gem, you know, and we'll just make that me. I'll join the posse. Incognito.
Anonymously?
Yeah, anonymously.
I love how you see yourself as this, like, James Bond-esque spy.
No, I see myself as somebody who can't draw at all and is hiding away from that as best he can.
Let's find out who our winner is. So we've got 2 winners this time, ladies and gents. And you're both winning yourself a copy of the Team of the Week. And I loved this week's Team of the Week. So I hope you have as much fun with it as I did once you finished leveling it up. So here we go. Winner number 1 is... Oh, yeah! Deb Dove. Congratulations, Deb Dove to Deb Dove. You have got yourself 1 copy of the Team of the Week, and our second and final winner is... Oh, yeah! Apparently also Deb Dove. Let's press that one more time. Oh, yeah! Still Deb Dove. What the hell is going on with my bot? Have I screwed this up? Oh, yeah! Murox98 is our second is our second winner. Congratulations to Murox. Do you think that's a Pokemon reference? Could be a Pokemon reference.
Is that a question for me or a question for the audience?
I don't know. You're the one that plays kids games, so I don't.
I was just going through the script of Greyhound 1, trying to work out if there's any chunk of text I could send you that you could read out, but I read it in your voice now, and I'm like, I can't do this. I love how
I love how I'm in your head.
Yeah, let's really stop that.
Does your wife mind?
She's listening. You should ask her.
I say, well, if you get slapped when you walk back in the room, then you have your answer. Oh God, you've just frozen my whole board of gems again. Oh, and I didn't even make any blue links. Oh God, and I'm poisoned. Poisoned, man. I'm poisoned. You should get like an Alice Cooper sound wave file to play at that point. I have messaged Deb Dove and Murox's names over to Susan, so thank you very much in advance to Susan for sending out those prizes. Small Blue Monkey is congratulating Deb Dove, and Murox. I don't know what happened there.
Blame the programmer. Always.
Yeah, it's almost certainly my fault. But
Are
I'm
you going to
right.
be able to beat this level then before the end of this chat? Before the end of the show?
Well, if it didn't keep blanking the whole screen so I couldn't see a freaking thing, then maybe. But as it is, it's a bit of a lottery.
Blinding you.
Actually, what I could do is use some of my abilities. I haven't actually used any of my abilities, which might explain like some of the stuff that's happening. Let's use a time bomb. I got a time bomb in my mind, Mom. Okay, here we go. Mega damage combo TM by Liadipos. Get ready to yell the huzzars, because here comes the blues. And I just unlocked myself a Strax. Fan Strax, or Frax as he's known to his friends, is now part of my team.
I want to get to a point where we can have a whole team of Sontarans. That's where we have to get to. We need a team of Amelias, a team of Doctor clones and alternate reality doctors, and a team of Sontarans.
You've missed a trick with the Sontarans.
What's that?
Well, because they're short, yeah?
Relatively.
So, what you could have is rather than having... Where's the new character? Here you go. Rather than having like a picture like this where you see the whole of the Sontaran, you could just have the very top of their head just kind of peeking out. So if I just take my chair down as far as my chair would go, so like, do you just have them like that? So
what would Canine be? Because Canine's like a foot tall. Would it just be empty space? If we're going to use the same thing for everyone?
Well, you don't use the same thing for everyone. It's just funny if you do it for the Sontarans.
Isn't it funny that some of them are so small they just don't have any images? Like the Sontarans could be barely peeking out, and then Canine would be just empty.
I think if you had an image of Canine that was completely empty, young children would cry.
That's probably true.
But come on, are you looking at the live stream right now? This is hilarious. Just having a little Sontaran's just head like picking up over the top. I'd love it.
Somebody said, I want... Where is it? Scroll off the screen so quickly. I want a team comprised solely of Stormageddon. I think that's a great idea. Have a whole team of Stormageddons.
See, this is your problem. You just say yes enthusiastically to everything without thinking about whether the idea is shite. So let's just go through that idea again. An entire team of a single baby that was only in the show once.
For about 15 seconds across all the scenes.
So do you want to repeat the whole... That's a great idea.
I wasn't being serious.
Yeah. Silly Tilly wants an entire stream of me sitting like that. Yes. Because you wanted it, it just might happen. There's my new fan area Strax. He's a blue one, as opposed to a red one. His special power is Sontar. What does he do? What does he do, Lee? Tell me what he does.
Cures poison. We were asked by many people to put a blue poison cure in. So as we were starting to work out what Strax could do, him being a medic, it seemed like a nice place to put a blue poison cure into the game.
Oh, I didn't know Sontarans only had 3 fingers. That's kind of cool. This bit looks like a... What else only has 3 fingers? Like dinosaurs? And like... Isn't there some sort of cartoon character that's only got 3 fingers, isn't there? What have Simpsons got?
I think we've gone off tangent. Right, how are we going to wrap this up? What are we discussing at the end of this?
Well, I think we should summarize all of the things that we've learned tonight in a 60-second monologue. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second. You do the first 60 seconds.
Okay, my first 60 seconds begins now. Tonight we have learned that the Brigadier plotline will be coming hopefully sometime in the next 3 weeks. We have also learned that the Whomobile is apparently a good idea. We have also learned that very short Sontarans should be just off the bottom of the screen. We have learned that combo teams in Doctor Who Legacy are viable and a genuine possibility. We have learned that Lee recently had a conversation with someone about microwaving babies, but it wasn't me. We have also learned that all of the people in the chat are awesome. And we have generally just learned... Actually, I haven't died tonight. We have learned that when Addy has a beer, he can do amazing things in the game, especially when his team is slightly overpowered. Woo! There's my 60. Your turn. Go.
Well, today we talked about the new abilities for enemies coming in season 5 epilogue. I guess we're calling it now. Hunter Greyhound 1.
Mm-hmm.
New ways to mess with people, new ways to design levels, much shorter levels. much more story-driven levels. It's going to be interesting to see what people think in a few weeks when they get to play this, because it's such a departure from what we've done before, just in terms of the framing and the pace of the story and everything else. So I hope people like it. There's some fun things coming. You play through, you get a few 100% drops, which are really fun to have. Like at least 3 new characters you'll get just playing through these levels. I'm really looking forward to it. And now I just need to work some long nights and wrap it up, get it completed.
Hell yeah! I quite like this 60-second summary of the show. It's quite cool. We should put it to music. But I should have like a 60-second summary, summarizing 60, type like little boogie along in the background. While we summarize what everything that's happened.
You should do that for next week.
I'll get right on it. I'll get right on it. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Lee. It's been awesome to have your company, and thank you so much for generously providing the codes for the giveaways. And of course, the Fifth Doctor. If any of you missed the Fifth Doctor code from earlier, let me just put it back up on the screen one last time. 6782 Whomaville 999938 is the code you need if you want that Fifth Doctor. And if I move the Whomaville out the way, you can even see the other numbers as well. Any final thoughts, sir?
No. Facebook tonight.
Did you want to thank me or anything, or
Yeah. Well, yes. Thank you for as always for being so awesome, and thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Thank you for that spontaneous.
And I'll see you next week.
It'll be cool. Doctor Who Gaming Show on Saturday night, people. I'll be going through more of my photos of the Doctor Who experience, which I hope will be lovely for you to come along to. And of course, I'll be doing various other bits of Hearthstone, or probably a bit of Fallout 3 coming your way at some point as well. So it'd be great to, whether or not you're legacying, come and join me at other points of the week as well. So take care, and it's a good night from me and Lee. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.